Hi everyone. So now we are discussing a builder design pattern. So builder design pattern is again belonging to a category of a creational design patterns. That means builder's task is to just create objects. That's it. So what exactly we mean by a builder design pattern? Builder design pattern is used to construct a complex objects step by step. So the key word here is step by step. So if I have a complex object to be created and I want to divide the creation of this complex objects into series of steps, and I want to construct this object stepwise, then I have to use a builder design pattern. So if I have a complex object to be created, just divide the object creation into series of small steps and use a builder design pattern to construct that complex object by just following a series of steps. Okay. So the forte of builder design pattern is constructing a complex object step by step. An abstract base class declares the standard construction process. Okay, so here I have a class called a director in which I have a function called construct. So in this function construct, what did I implement? For each object in a structure called builder arrow build part, meaning I have a complex object to be created, but I am creating that object in small parts. Suppose I want an entire car to be built. So car I am dividing into small parts like door, window, steering wheel, wheels, mud flap. So I am dividing the car creation into small component creation. So director class will have a construct function which will have the logic of how to assemble all the components into one car. I repeat, construct function will have the logic of how to assemble different components of a car into one car, and each component can be manufactured separately, right? So each component is manufactured separately and construct is clubbing all those guys into a single car. So that's why I'm saying for each object in a structure, so what are the different objects in the structure? Structure is a car for us. So each object in a structure is the window, the door, the mud flaps, the wheel. So these are the different objects in this structure. So it's calling build part for each of the objects in the structure. So we are building the entire complex object in a series of steps, small steps. Okay. That's why I mentioned the abstract base class declares the standard construction process, and the concrete derived classes define the appropriate implementation for each step in the process. So now here director contains the builder. Now builder has a API called build part, but the concrete builder is actually building that part. So example of concrete builder will be door builder, steering builder, window builder, mud flaps builder, wheels builder. So all this will be my concrete builders which are building the actual component. So door builder will build a door, wheels builder will build wheels, steering builder will build steering, window builder will build a window. So concrete builder is actually building only that specific component. It is building that part only. Okay. So for each step a different respective concrete builders are invoked. So builder is a class which is responsible for constructing the object. each builder constructs different parts of the object. So as I've said, I have different concrete builders which are building the different parts, and director who is controlling the entire creation of the complex objects, because the entire complex object creation I have divided into different parts and it is controlling the object creation of the complex object, but each component creation will be done by the builder, the concrete builders. Okay, so I have a director here. I'll again explain this. I have a director here which controls the object creation of the complex object that you have. So in this construct function I have defined this. What it says, for each object in a structure, call its build part, meaning build each of the objects independently and club them together over here. So this is going to have a builder in it, and this is an abstract builder class which says build part, and this is a concrete builder which builds the actual part. So it will build part and get result. Get result will give the result of this particular builder. For example, window builders get result will return a window. Door builders class gets result will return a door, and so on. So this is building the actual product. Now I'll explain to you all with an example how a builder design pattern can be used in your real life examples, real life projects. So in this example that I have here, there is a message class which is having two different parts to it. There are two different parts to it. One is greeting and one is recipient. So I have a message class which have two parts to it. One is greeting and second is recipient. So I'm dividing my complex message class into two different parts, small parts. One is greeting, second part is recipient. Is this clear? Now I have a builder class. In this builder class I have a build message. I have a build function in which I take a message object from outside as a reference. That means whatever changes that I do for this message object inside this function will be reflected outside this function as well. Why? Because I am accepting the message as a reference. So since I am accepting this message as a reference parameter, whatever changes that I do to this object inside this build function will be reflected outside as well. So I have a builder class from which I am inheriting two different builder concrete classes. Remember in the previous slide I had a builder class and I had a concrete builder inheriting from builder. So concrete builder was, for example, door builder, window builder, and so on. So here class hello is a concrete builder, class world is also a concrete builder which is building the actual concrete products step by step. So in the build function definition, I am accepting message object from outside, and to this message object I am setting its greeting variable to hello. I am setting the greeting component of this message object with value hello. Similarly, build function of class world, I am accepting a message object from outside and I am setting the recipient component of message object to world. So what did I do here? In the build function of hello, I am setting greeting component of message to hello, and here I am setting recipient component to world. So this message was a complex object to us. What did I do? I broke down the complex object message into two small parts. And what were those two small parts? Greeting and recipient. So in one concrete builder, I am setting a value to greeting. In second concrete builder, I am setting a value to recipient. So here I am setting a value to greeting. Here I am setting a value to recipient. That means I am building an object part wise. I am building the object part wise. Hello is building a part of it. World is building a part of it. So I am building the object part wise. Okay. So I have a hello world function which takes two builders by reference. So from the main I am creating object of hello, and I am creating an object of a world and passing them to hello world. So hello object is passed here, world object is passed here. So I create an object of message, but stage 1 dot build, I am passing message to it. So what will happen here? It will go to the build function of who is stage 1. I am building the object in stages, right? So stage 1 and stage 2 are two different stages of building my complex object message. So I am calling the build function of stage 1. Who is this stage 1? Hello. So go to build function of hello. So let's go to build function of hello. Here it is. I am accepting this message object here. I am setting its greeting to hello. So till now, after this statement is executed, the greeting component of this message object is created. Only the greeting component of this object is created. Now let's go to the stage 2. Who is stage 2? World. So world is passed here. So let's go to the build of world. So build of world is here. What do I do? The message object whose greeting component is already set, I am passing that object here as part of the next statement. And here I am setting the recipient component of that object to world. So with that, what will happen is, after this statement is executed, the greeting component is already set to hello. After this statement is executed, the recipient component is already set to hello world. That means I am creating an object message in two different stages. In stage 1, I assign greeting to hello. In stage 2, I assign recipient to world. So message is fully constructed now with hello and world as a values to its greeting and recipient components respectively. So this send function can go here, which will just print the contents of greeting and recipient on the screen. So it will print hello world on the screen to the user. So I'll again explain this example. I have a class message which is a complex object to me right now. I'm dividing this class message into two different small components. One is greeting, second is recipient. Then I have a builder class which is an abstract class here. So I need to have concrete builders to create the components of these objects step by step. So I have a hello class which will set the greeting component of this message with a value hello, and I have a world class which will set the recipient component of this message with a value world. So hello class will create greeting component, world class will create recipient component. So I am creating an object message in small steps. So step 1 will create its greeting component, step 2 will create its recipient component. Then I have a hello world function to which I pass stage 1 object and stage 2 object. That means I am dividing my entire object creation into stages, right? So what are those? I create a hello object and I pass it stage 1. I create a world object and I pass as stage 2. So I create a local message object here which is null right now, which doesn't have greeting and recipient into that. Now stage 1 dot build message. What is stage 1? Hello object. So let's go to build function of hello. Here I am getting this message object. Here I am setting the greeting component to hello. So after execution of this statement, I have a greeting component created. Then I am passing that message object whose greeting component is already created to the build function of stage 2. What is stage 2? World. So let's go to the build of world. It comes here and I pass a message object to it, and here I am setting the recipient component of message object with a world as a value to it. That means after executing this line, I have a greeting component created with a value hello in it. After executing the next line, I have recipient component created with a value world in it. So by this time MSG contains greeting and recipient, both components created with hello and world values in them respectively. So you can have this send function defined in your class message which will just print the values of greeting and recipient on the screen. So it will print hello world on the screen. Simple. So with that, I am concluding the builder design pattern. Thank you.